Let's see now the procedures how to discharge the cargo tanks on the simulator. You can see that we have a different cargos and each group of the tanks. The group here is the wing tanks. Port and starboard is the one group. However, we have 6 different type of the cargo loaded on board. We can go in the computerized monitoring system, check the cargo type and each tank, and we see that they are similar and equal to the wing tanks and different from one tank to another. Here we can see that the tanks between wing, they are not segregated by 2 crossing valves. However, every line is segregated from another line by 2 cross valves. So that's manifold common lines are protecting leakage and contamination of cargo from one group to another group. So that's why we are able to load 6 different type of the cargo on board of this tanker, but we cannot load 2 different type of the cargo in one group. Starting from the checklist as usual. This time we will make mooring on the starboard side. Checklist to be filled up completely, read it carefully and fill it up. All the boxes. Manifold states we have to return a little bit later. First, we decide to discharge from 1 wings and 2 wings. Remove the blanket flange, the blank flange to be removed from the tank and connect. So that is a manifold connection without blank flange. So now we can arrange in one wings on the starboard side. We can arrange unloading, discharging, and select from the list the cargo. Make sure that you are selecting the correct cargo, lubricating oil in this case, and we can commence lining up the second line. Unloading the second line. Verify what cargo is loaded in second line. It's industrial oil. So we have lined it up and manifold connection completed. Discharge will go on that way. Verify how many percent of oxygen there. It's less than 5%, less than 2%. That is okay, and we have to maintain continuously this level of oxygen in the cargo tanks. Consider that we have already started the inert gas system and we have supplied the inert gas on deck with the percentage of 3.1 oxygen in gas flow. That is enough for us, and we are not going to discuss how to start the inner gas system. However, you have to keep control on the gas flow. Start from this position. Open the valve on distribution inert gas line. The gas line is ready now. Check the hint. The gas now is exchanged with one wing and two wings. Actually, that is not correct. So we have a different type of the cargo and the vapors are mixed. That could lead for contamination, but not in our case of study. However, in real life, you have not to do this way. Okay, starting to discharge. First, as usually you are familiar with the Fram pump already, we have to start two feeding pumps. The feed pumps should arrange enough oil for the power packs. The power packs are raising the pressure here. And we have to start the pumps now. The pumps must be started against the closed discharge valve. So first we have to build up the pressure and after that only to start to open the discharge valve. Otherwise we may have a back pressure and the cargo from terminal can enter in the tank, and that could lead a huge problem. So we build up the pressure here, same that is 6.7 bars. And the cargo will fill up the line, discharge line, and open the manifold. So let's see by the hint how the cargo will run when the valves are fully open. Okay, now we see that the cargo is running outside through the port side manifold. We can monitor and must to control the pressure in the line. Now we have to start two port. The procedure is the same. We have to repeat the same steps like one wings. Important to have the pressure in one group of the tanks, to have the pressure on pumps the equal. Otherwise the cargo could be pushed by one pump to another and you will get the cargo into the tank instead of discharging it outside of the ship. Keep always monitor and control of the pressure in tanks and rate of discharge, pressure of pumps and rate of discharging. Here you can see that the discharge is running normally. and you can see the pressure in the tanks. The pressure is okay, it's positive pressure. Even you discharging, but the pressure still positive because you have arranged the inert gas distribution line correctly. So just to remind you that we need to send into tank 125% of discharged cargo. If you discharge 1000, you have to send into the tank 1250 cubic meters. Just for example, I'll show you if you close the valve, so no more inert gas is sending into the discharged tank, but discharging still going on. So let me say in emergency the inert gas failed. You can see how the pressure is decreased. Let's recontrol. Here so far we have a good oxygen parameters in the cargo tank. Increase the speed, that is the simulation, just increasing the time running, and you see that discharging of cargo and not sending the inert gas into the tank leads for the vacuumation, for the vacuum inside in the tank. And in this case we will have PV valves open. You can see that now the vacuum created in tanks made open the PV valve, pressure vacuum valves, and the oxygen from the atmosphere are entering inside in the tank. Yes, that's our secondary protection, not to damage the tank. However, it leads for the oxygen increasing content in the cargo tank. So now the oxygen is increased, and when it will reach more than 8%, we have to, before it will reach 8%, we have to stop the discharging immediately. Yeah, otherwise that is a big violation of procedure. So now we open the valve again. The inert gas will fill up the tank, and you see the PV valve is closed now, and the cargo is still discharging, and you can see that the inert gas filled up the empty space, so the pressure is rising. And that's the correct procedure. So take always care about the inert gas filled tanks. That's generally what we have to control during our discharge procedure. And you are familiar now with the loading procedures on this simulator. That's all. Thank you.